Hi, welcome to today. My name is Lynn Hoerauf, and this is Relational Effectiveness. I want to thank the Strategic Advisor Board today for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. So we're talking about the DISC in the personality profile, and specifically today, we're focusing on the I and communication hacks. Yesterday we did some communication hacks on the I, and being an I thought there were some gaps that I needed to fill in that I didn't hit on yesterday. So this is from the perspective of a high influence type on the personality styles. There's a few ways that we can communicate better. We're storytellers, right? So there's a lot to say. There's a whole setup, and here's the climax, and then this is what happened. Well, sometimes that's not the way we need to go with it, because we can lose people in our stories if it's especially not the right setting. So one of the ways to decide how much to tell and where to start, you could ask, do you want the whole story? You just want the bottom line? Or you could just kind of judge it and say, I think in this situation, I need kind of like a 2-minute version or a little less or something of that sort. So by determining if this is a situation where it's a longer version or a shorter version, that can help you with telling and answering a question or sharing your point. Sometimes when we're asked a question or we're talking a situation, we might be picking up a lot of information. We might have a lot to say about what's happening. And so if you, one thing is to answer the actual question that's asked. This can happen time and again where you may talk about it or around the topic, but there's maybe a specific question that's being asked. So you may want to just, when you hear it, Okay, that's the question to ask. So what can happen is a long story or other details, maybe like I'm doing right now. Maybe that's what's happening. But anyway, bottom line, answering the actual question. I've found it to be helpful if I introduce what I'm going to say at times, so let's say I'm not trying to figure out the bottom line situation. Maybe I just want to talk about it. Maybe I want to express about it or vent. Maybe I'm just trying to figure something out. If I can, and it's not like I say this all the time. I'm not somebody that once we start talking, I go, well, now this is what I'm going to say, or this is what it's about. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but there are times when it's actually strategically better to say, this is the point of what I'm talking about right now. Or I just want to vent, or I just want to talk about this and kind of figure out some things. That can help our listeners to know what is this point? What is the purpose of this? This could be used across the board. Maybe I'm just saying this for I's, but it could be used obviously across the board for our D's, our S's, our C's, for humanity, that maybe we answer the questions that are asked of us. Maybe we tell ahead what we're talking about, why we're talking about it, or what's the point that we're looking for from our situation. And then also determining what does this conversation need? Is this a long version? Is this the casual version? Or is this the business version? Is this like maybe bullet point version? So some of these things can help us as we're trying to communicate. And I have to ask if I made this clear. So if you wouldn't mind commenting in the bottom, if you felt like you got a point out of this, that'd be great. Or if you have a question, or if you also have a tip, what has helped you in your communications that makes things smoother, better? It's just such an area that we tend to need help in at times, and actually a lot of times, because we're all different. We hear it different. We see it different. But boy, when we can get on the same page, it's a lot of fun, and it's a great connection. So it's been great connecting with you today, and I will see you soon. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.